I want to take a moment and thank you for joining us here today. It's been a while since I've been online. I appreciate your hanging in there with us. Welcome to the new year. Excited to announce that we have our Omega 1 in February of this month, 23rd to the 25th. So there you go. Just go ahead and register if you're interested in attending an Omega 1. If you have family friends that would love to come, that's awesome as well. Today on our coffee talk, who joins us on our coffee talk, I wanted to take a moment and talk about checking in for our own well-being. Recently, there was a tornado, excuse me, there was a tornado that ran through where my company is. The headquarters are in Florida, and a tornado went through the area. And so when that happened, I had a feeling of angst because I didn't know if my coworkers were safe. Everything went down. And so thankfully, I was able to get onto the emergency system and calling everyone to check to see if everyone is okay. And naturally, I felt an extreme amount of relief when every person I talked to was indeed safe. But the question I left with was, it's amazing how when there's a tragedy, I want to reach out, make sure everyone else is okay. But how come I don't check in on myself? And do I always need to have a tragedy to check in on myself? Which I don't believe I need to. Most of the time, that's what happens, though. We have some emotional upset, we get fired, our spouse leaves us, or children moves out of the house. I mean, it doesn't have to be dramatic, but usually in those events, that's what makes us stop and assess ourselves and take some inventory. It's important to prioritize ourselves, though. In this fast-paced world, it's so easy that we get overlooked. We're prioritizing our family, our teams, our friends, and usually we're overlooking ourselves, our own mental health and our emotional health. So again, thinking about the tornado, it serves as a great reminder that storms can hit anytime. Life storms can hit anytime. And it's crucial to ensure my personal well-being is resilient enough that I can weather anything that life throws at me. So there's a list that I've kind of put together about reasons why it's essential for us to have a healthy check-in with myself. First of all, it prioritizes my mental health. Just as we prioritize our physical health, New Year's resolutions, I'm going to work out. It's our mental health deserves the same attention. So regular check-in allows me to identify and address any mental concerns that may be fostering and maybe festering inside and develop a healthy attitude. So mental health, that means, how am I talking to myself? Am I putting myself down? Am I being judgmental? Am I being critical of myself? It doesn't mean you walk around arrogantly, like, look how wonderful I am. But it's more having a conscientious, oh, well, I could have handled that situation better. And oh, yeah, I did handle that nicely. That's all it is. It's just a nice little check-in. No judgment. If you've ever been in an Omega class, the line is, we observe. It's all observation, no judgment. We simply observe. The next thing that is very important when we have our check-ins is it builds emotional resilience. So what do I mean by that? It means life's unpredictable. And as we know, challenges can show up anytime. So by checking in with myself, that emotional resilience, meaning I can stay steadfast and I'm strong, helps me navigate through any of the stresses. So when I check in, how do I feeling today? Am I feeling peaceful? Am I feeling calm? As a matter of fact, I have a check-in that shows up on my phone. I'm not going to remember. Yeah, it's how are you feeling? It's just a check-in app. Just 3 times a day, it pops in and says, how are you feeling? It's just a quick little check-in. Am I feeling stressed? Am I feeling peaceful? Am I feeling joyful? Am I feeling exhausted? Just having that quick little check-in helps me adjust. And if I'm feeling exhausted, what can I do to shift that? The next thing is it enhances self-awareness naturally. A self-check-in promotes self-awareness, understanding my emotions, my thoughts, and it empowers me to stay informed on my decisions, setting healthy boundaries, and cultivating a positive mindset. It also has meaningful connections. So when we prioritize our well-being, we become better equipped to connect with others, authentically connecting with others. It helps us have healthy relationships, a good, strong foundation. If I'm feeling healthy and strong, then I'm going to, dare I say, attract healthy and strong relationships. We've talked about this before, being magnetic. So what I'm putting out there is what I'm going to attract. It fosters productivity and creativity. I know that's a little strange, but it's true. When I'm in a good mental and emotional state, then I'm easy to perform and creativity seems to fly. I'm not stressed. So creativity seems to flow a little bit more freely. Now, those are a couple of points on why it's beneficial to do check-in. There's like 5 points. But then I know you've heard me talk about this before, and I'll just mention it again. What are some ways to practice for self-check-ins? Well, mindful practices always. Mindfulness, I'm huge. It's my biggest favorite topic, being mindful of the practices. So incorporate mindfulness in my daily routines. So example, meditating. As you know, I love to meditate. So meditating, deep breathing, or simply being present in the moment. Just sitting for a moment and saying, okay, can I recognize? Do I close your eyes? What do I hear? What are the sounds that I hear? So bringing myself into the present moment. I can hear the landscapers across the street. I can hear my chair squeaking while I'm moving. I can hear, if we sit quietly enough, I can hear my own heartbeat. So that's bringing myself into the present moment. Another quick trick is just look around. What are things that I see? I see my Harry Potter wand sitting there. I see a statue of Winnie the Pooh. Brings me into the present moment. That's what mindfulness is. Again, it's just simply controlling my mind. Regular reflection is another thing. It goes along with mindful practices, but set some time aside. As you know, I do this every evening. At the end of the day, I review my day. How did I do? And I start from me sitting down in my chair in my bedroom and working my way all the way back up to when I first woke up. How did I handle that situation? Oh, did I enjoy that instance that I was in? Did I participate fully in a conversation? Anything and everything, just simply reviewing my day without judgment. And then, of course, the last thing is establish boundaries. This is always very helpful for practicing self check-ins. Learn when it is okay to say no, when it's necessary to say no. Setting boundaries that can help prioritize your well-being. So they're not selfish. Sometimes we feel bad when we say selfish or I'm not available, but that's really essential for maintaining a healthy and balanced lifestyle. Again, so as we instinctively check on the safety of our loved ones during a storm, let's remember to make a conscientious effort to check in on ourselves. Again, prioritizing our mental and emotional well-being. It's by no coincidence that today is Healthy Heart Day, wearing red to remind us, especially for women, to check our hearts to remain healthy. So, and we have little reminders like that. Let's wear red and remind ourselves to check our hearts. But we don't have the little reminders to, hey, let's check in mentally, checking in within ourselves. So thank you for joining me this morning as I talked about self check-in. And I hope to encourage you to take more moments today, throughout your day, to check in with yourself. Just check in. Again, as I mentioned before, there's an app that's just called Check-in. And you could set it up and it'll just flash 3 times a day. I get a little notice, check in, and you have to stop. And the thing is, you have to stop and check in, not just go, oh yeah, I remember I have to check in and I'll get to it in a moment. That's not going to be beneficial for you. So that's all I have to say this morning. My voice is probably going to leave me soon. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you the next time I jump online, which is actually Monday. Well, coming up this Monday, I will be jumping online and I will be talking about how often we should take a risk, which is a great question. You all know me. I love to take risks, very beneficial in your life, but how often should we take a risk? So have a wonderful day. Enjoy your coffee, and I will see you on the other side of the video. Bye now.